You ready for this?
Nope, but let's do it anyway.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Nerdy Psychologist Book Club.
Get ready to explore the magic and the mind games behind your favorite dystopian fantasy YA novels.
I'm Brandy Hawk, a trauma psychologist and proud book nerd.
And I'm Deanna Boys, a psychology expert and also a book nerd.
Let's talk about your favorite heroes and villains, why they do what they do, and what that means for us.
Welcome to the club.
All right, everyone. So, brief overview of our podcast. We are going to read one book per month, and then we'll have a new episode each week that discusses a different character or concept within that book. Deanna, what book are we reading this month?
We are reading So Let Them Burn by Camilla Cole. And I have received feedback that I ramble when I do the synopsis. So I will read the synopsis from the book. There's nothing that Faron won't do for her sister. Faron Vincent can channel the power of the gods. 5 years ago, she used her divine magic to liberate her island from its enemies, the dragon-riding Langlish Empire. But now, at 17, Faron is all powered up with no wars to fight. She's a legend to her people and a nuisance to her neighbors. When she's forced to attend an international peace summit, Faron expects that she will perform tricks like a trained pet and then go home. She doesn't expect her older sister Elara forming an unprecedented bond with an enemy dragon, dun dun dun, or the gods claiming that the only way to break this bond is to kill her sister. As Faron's desperation to find another solution takes her down a dark path, and Elara discovers a shocking secret to the heart of the Langlish Empire, each must make difficult choices that will shape the other's lives as well as the fate of their worlds. That was really good, actually.
That was good. That was good copy.
I know, good job. But yeah, we are reading So Let Them Burn it is a really good book, actually.
It's a fun book.
It is a very easy read. I think if you're like looking for something, it's not light, but if you're looking for, well, it's not even, now I'm coming up with ideas not to, but
There's
I think
no child murders.
there's no child murders.
So
like,
that's a new one
you're
for our
looking
podcast.
For a nice little foray into fantasy, this is a good one. Because also, like, at the heart of the story is the characters. Like, it is fantasy, but I did find myself kind of just being like, and then what's Faron going to do? And then what's Elara going to do? And then what about Eveline? What is she doing? But I was thinking it'd be good to talk about Reeve today.
I love Reeve.
Because I love Reeve too. And in true book club fashion, we have our fancy cocktail. Yay. And this is called the Ally. I think he's a good ally.
He is a great example of an ally.
And one of the things, so Camilla Cole's from Jamaica.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say rum is the only drink and only cocktail, whatever.
It's
but like
definitely not the only drink.
When you think of Jamaica, I think of rum. But I think of the idea behind Elara and Reeve and like kind of like the meshing of the two worlds. And this was a lovely cocktail idea dreamed up by our friend Lindsay, who can't be here today, but it is a rum and gin. So bringing in like the Langlish Empire and also,
oh my gosh, because gin is British.
Yeah, is it British? I actually don't know.
I don't know. Actually, I'm only thinking that because Beef Eater Gin has the little British guy on it. I actually don't know where it's from.
I don't know where gin's from. No idea. But I was thinking like a traditionally like Western European drink.
Yeah.
With like what's considered Jamaican. Anyway,
it's perfect.
But it's kind of like a mule, but it's fun. It's called the Ally. So let's drink.
Okay, that's fun.
That tastes like a mule.
I don't usually like mules, but I'm liking this. It's good.
Yeah, this is good. Let's talk about Reeve.
All right, let's talk about Reeve. First of all, do you like Reeve?
I actually do like Reeve.
I love Reeve. I thought that like from the beginning, I just loved this boy who was like, all right, I'll take it.
Yes. Like he is a little he's not self-deprecating. What is he? Like he's
I mean, at times it's self-flagellation.
Okay.
Right? Like he lets people beat him up.
And he kind of just lets
he lets it happen.
He lets it happen. And it doesn't, I don't know if it feels, how do I put it? Like it feels I know I understand self-flagellation, but it just feels like he's just there to be present when someone's dealing with a hard thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Farron and Alara was obviously his actual friend.
Yeah.
And then Farron got forced into it. It's kind of like when you're like hanging out with like your friends, and then the two friends that aren't friends have to hang out. That's felt like
Oh, very much.
yeah. But then they end up being friends. They end up
I mean, they end up being more than friends.
being more than friends. But and I like to kick my feet. But he just does such a good job being there.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I want to talk about with him, right? So I think that Reeve is actually a phenomenal model of how we can support our friends after trauma.
Okay.
So you've brought this up, right? So Farron has experienced this horrific trauma of being in war, right?
Mhm.
We see it coming up all the times. She is having nightmares about it. She's having intrusive memories about the war. She's also just like angry all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
She was a little triggering, not gonna lie. She was hard to like at first.
She is hard to like at first.
Yeah.
Because she, like we talked about before, seems very selfish.
Yeah.
She's egocentric as an adolescent,
Mhm.
but she's also a traumatized adolescent. And there's a lot of anger bubbling up all the time for her.
Yeah.
And I think Reeve is just a beautiful example of how you can be supportive for someone without forcing them to change. So that
Yeah.
they're able to progress
Like
through their
actually
trauma.
meet them where they're at.
Yeah.
Cause like in therapy and as a grant writer of sorts,
Of sorts.
I've written grants. No, just kidding. But
Wait,
like,
but actually, sorry, you're not kidding. You have written
no,
grants.
I have written grants that have gotten funded, and
You're an excellent grant
often
writer.
thank you, thank you, thank you. But I often one of the hallmarks of one of the like when I start thinking of an idea is like I want to meet people where they're at, actually where they're at, and oftentimes they're when they've been traumatized, they're not ready to actually do anything besides just feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Reeve does such a good job just being like, I'm going to ignore all these other things that you're throwing at me.
Yeah, and that's step one, right? Is let them be angry.
Yeah.
Right? I think that so often when after we've experienced trauma, we are angry. Like it's one of the most common responses to
Mhm.
trauma. And it's so natural for the people around us to be like, "What's wrong with you? Don't be so angry."
Yeah. Like you're hard to be around.
Yeah.
Because you're always, and it makes you as the person who's experienced trauma feel hard to what's the good word for that? Like you feel like you're a burden.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you can't control the anger inside of you. And people are telling you, be less angry.
Mm-hmm.
But Reeve doesn't do that. Reeve just lets Farron be angry. He lets actually the entire empire be angry with him.
Yeah. They all hate him.
They all hate him.
He's a traitor.
And can you imagine that?
I mean, he's not the main character, but like I'm curious about his story a little bit. Like, how is he managing?
Yeah, I would have loved to hear his perspective as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like he stepped out on the thinnest limb ever, right?
Mhm.
He betrayed his family. He betrayed his whole empire. He was going to be the leader of it one day, right? And
Yeah, like his dad's a colonel or whatever the level he is. Yeah.
and he's like, no, what they're doing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to help the people that are being hurt.
Yeah.
So, like, you called this the ally. There's nothing more ally like than that, right?
Yeah.
Like to say the people who are like me are in the wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And so I am going to use my privilege, my power in being part of this community to stand up and say, nope, I'm going to help these people instead.
Yeah, that's so important.
He does it so well.
He does it so well. I mean, like I was searching through the book and I was just telling you like how, like I read the book and then I moved on kind of
course.
thing, as one does. But I was like, oh, I'm going to go back and read a couple things. And I was like looking for all these places because Reeve just shows up and then he's just there. Reeve's in
Yeah.
the corner. He's just there. I yell things at him. I talk, like Farron's chapters where she's just like, and then he's there.
Right.
But he's there. But he's there.
He's always there. And
Yeah.
he's always there letting her be who she is.
Mm-hmm.
And something else that he does that I think is so crucial and beautiful is He shows up next to her and he gently helps her reframe her negative
Mm.
thoughts and find courage in situations that are triggering and scary. And I actually want to read about this one.
Okay, let's do
Okay,
it.
so I love this. I love this part so much. This is on page 70.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Early on in the book.
early in the book. So they're at the banquet. I don't know. I forget what it was called.
Yeah, I forget too.
Right. So like all the people are there and Farron is supposed to do tricks for them, right? She's on display.
Yeah.
And she is feeling so judged, so looked at, so overwhelmed by all of these people. She hates everything about being here. And Reeve comes over to her. He tilts his head towards a Joyan woman in a night blue ball gown. That's Ray Cristobal's favorite cousin, Pilar Montserrat. I heard she was in consideration for the Hoyan throne until she set a potential suitor's hairpiece on fire during dinner. Farron was surprised into laughing. You're lying. It was in all their papers. Why were you reading papers from Hoya del Mar? And then Reeve keeps talking to her. And so it went. Reeve was full of funny anecdotes about the dignitaries, stories that reduced them from carnivorous monsters eager for their slice of San Irie to flawed humans with public shadows they couldn't even hide from their own people. Against her will, Farron found herself smiling.
Oh, it's so sweet.
It's so
It's like you can see a little
sweet.
little bit of her ice melting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just like, what a beautiful, kind thing to do to see somebody who is overwhelmed and not tell them, you shouldn't be overwhelmed.
Yeah,
You're
don't
overthinking
like coming over,
this,
like, calm down. You're
right?
being weird, you know?
Instead, like, he didn't mention how overwhelmed she was. He didn't say anything about it, but he started finding ways to make her laugh
Mm-hmm.
and make the situation less scary.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most beautiful things we can do for people who have experienced trauma is not tell them they're wrong, but help them see the humor, see that things aren't as scary as they're making them.
And, like, relearn how to be happy a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's hard when you've
It's
experienced
so
something
hard.
so earth-shaking. And something that, like, in the book, I thought that Camilla did a really good job of kind of showing what PTSD kind of looks like in little pieces
Absolutely.
for both Elara and Farron. A
Mhm.
lot for Farron though.
Yeah.
Like and it was just so lovely that Reeve's there just being the trustworthy friend.
Yeah, he's there. And you brought up helping them find joy.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So that's another huge thing. That's part of being a friend of someone who's experiencing trauma is that trauma takes away your joy,
Mm-hmm.
right? It feels like the whole world is scary and overwhelming and terrible now. And Farron not only has that from her experiences, but also because she's not allowed to do things.
And sometimes you forget they're teenagers.
I mean,
When
yeah.
when you're reading along, you're like, oh wait, this kid's like 17.
Yeah, they're babies.
They're babies.
Sorry to those of you out there who are 17.
Sorry, we're old. You just call us old. It's
You're
fine.
not a baby. You're an almost adult, but they
True,
feel
true.
like babies.
But they're going through such adult things.
Such adult things.
And just like in general, when you're part of war or colonization, you're expected to grow up really fast too.
Absolutely.
So that's another piece that like kind of like is woven throughout that I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So within that, right? So Farron's not allowed to do anything. She constantly
Literally
has to be
nothing.
on all the time. And then they're at this little beach house, which is very cute that they just get to live at a like beach castle for a while, but
Yeah,
okay.
it's cute.
And she is overwhelmed, and Reeve's like, all right, well, I'll go with you into town.
Yeah, he's just
I'll
like
go to town with you.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then they're out in town and he sees her relaxing. She's relaxing. She's having a great time. And then he sees her start to get stressed out again. And then he says, want to go dancing? I love that part so much.
Pro tip, everyone: go dancing.
Always go dancing.
Always go dancing. Or we like to go dancing at least.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know. I get how to put it, like just so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just able to be there for her and like see what she needs in the moment and not be overwhelming.
Yeah. And not tell her you need laughter, right? Like he doesn't point it out. He just acts,
Yeah.
right? He models it and he brings her along with him in a way that's not overwhelming, but allows her to just sort of like slip into joy rather than be bashed with it over the head.
Yeah. That's such a good point.
Love
Good
it.
point.
He's so sweet. Other things about him. So we're like on the like happy nice train, right? Reeve
Okay.
does a lot of happy nice
He
things.
does.
But another way that we can best support our friends who've experienced trauma is also by being honest.
Oh, yes. He is good at that.
He's good
But
at
he's good
that.
at, like, I mean, I would say like a feedback sandwich kind of thing. But
Mhm.
like he's good at like softening the blow
Yes.
of his honesty. Because honesty can be brutal.
I've never experienced.
You've never
What do you
given
mean
me brutally
honesty
honest
can be
feedback.
brutal?
No. But do you have a specific thing
I
you
do.
want to point out?
Yes. So I love this interaction so much. We're on page 171. And I think that this is important for friends and also for parents to hear, right? So when people have experienced trauma, whether it's our friend or whether it's our child, it can feel so easy to think we have to walk on eggshells around them, right? We
Yeah.
shouldn't say anything that makes them upset. We should only ever tell them the great things about themselves. So, page 171.
Okay.
Faron is at the end of her rope and she's like, this Reeve is so nice. I can't take it anymore, right?
I get that sometimes. People are like, you're too nice.
You're too nice. I'm gonna push, right? And that's such a normal person thing to do. It's an especially normal traumatized person thing to do,
Yeah.
right? Like you were doing all the right things, you're saying all the right things, but I just need you to
Just
show
shut up.
me, show me that I'm not crazy.
Yeah,
like that my anger isn't crazy. Be crazy with me, right?
Oh, yeah.
So she is needling him, and I love his response. I think, Reeve said, each word pointed and deliberate, that you can be selfish and self-centered. I think that as much as you complain about being the child Empyrean, it's deluded you into thinking that everything revolves around you. Elara is in trouble, and you can't even open a book to help her. You haven't been to the temple to talk to the gods since yesterday. Faron, you're sitting on the floor talking about how bored you are instead of finding something useful to do when your sister is in danger.
But like, read her to filth. And so true. Read her to filth and so true. I love it.
Right? Like he was honest.
I know when I read this, I was like, okay, mic drop.
Yeah.
You go. Because he said like little quips here and there, but he's mostly pretty positive.
Right.
But he's like, you are useless.
Right. Like if your sister was here, she would be doing everything that she could for you. But you're complaining about being bored.
Right? It's such a teenager thing too, by the way. I love it.
Very much a teenager
Yeah.
thing. But sometimes the kindest thing we can do for someone is to be honest with them about their behavior. And that's a really hard thing.
That's hard when someone's experienced a trauma. And like you were saying, like with parents, like, you're like, my kid is kind of hard to be around right now. And that's okay. And you need to set boundaries.
Yeah.
They need to know that like they're still safe with you.
Yep.
But you have to set boundaries.
Absolutely.
Because their behavior can't get out of control. Like they've whatever, you know.
Well, I know you do a lot of this, right? You have a lot of kids groups that you run. So how do you sort of bring in these concepts to your kids groups?
Oh, that's a really good question. I've had half a drink, I will think. It is a lot. I do feel like Reeve a lot, actually. Like trying to meet them where they're at. I work with kids who have experienced trauma. They're living in active trauma. They're dealing with homelessness. And usually I will just reflect. I'm like a nice little mirror for them. Like if they're saying something, I'll reflect it. But sometimes I will point out, that seems unsafe for you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more about that. Like, that's concerning. I find that like just it's not a reflection, but it's like just pointing it out really ever so slightly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I end up doing is like just like tell me more. Why is This happens sometimes with like young teens when they're like doing things they probably shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
It is developmentally appropriate probably to be a little risky on the internet, you know,
Yeah.
and like talk about the bigger consequences of that. Like, so what do you think that could happen? Like, talk through the next steps. But like being like, and but also, but like Reeves being real.
He's being very real. He's saying, no, like, come on.
Yeah,
This is what you're doing. This is
yeah,
who you are right now.
yeah,
And you need to be confronted with it.
yeah. That actually did happen actually recently at a kids group. I'm like trying to like, I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, we were going over the rules of the group of the session, and I was like, you know, are we okay with like fit, you know, like hurt, like we're not going to touch each other, right? Like that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Just saw you doing that a second ago. Like you have to call them out on their behavior. Like you said you don't like it, and then you did it a minute ago. Tell me what that's about.
Yeah.
Like just be real. Like
and setting rules.
and setting rules, and also
Right?
like really bringing in values and expectations. Like you don't like it when it happens to you. You just did it.
Right. And that's sort of what Reeve does when he brings up that if Elara was here and you were the one in danger, she would be doing everything that she could at all times.
Yeah.
But you're complaining.
So he's like 1 year older than them. He's like 18.
Right?
He's like, I'm so much smarter than
I'm
you.
so mature.
I'm so mature. I'm an adult. It's funny.
But I think about this a lot with kids, right? You know, I work primarily with kids. I work primarily with families. And there's this real tendency after kids have experienced trauma to want to give them the world, right? To
Mhm.
say, I'm never going to say anything that makes you upset because
Oh, so true.
I don't ever want you to feel that way again. And that comes from a really good place in
Yeah.
a parent's heart, but it's also really damaging for
Yeah.
a child.
They're going to
Including
turn.
a 17-year-old
They're
child.
going to turn into the child in Pyrean, where they think the world revolves around them,
Yeah.
and that's not the real world.
And so truly like being a good friend, being a good parent to someone who's experienced trauma sometimes means putting a clear boundary in
Mhm.
place and saying with as much love as you can muster, what you're doing is not okay.
Yeah, I say this with love. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What's
This is
happening
not
here?
good.
This is not good. I do that a lot. I'm gonna say this with love. What are you wearing? Like that scene from Girls Trip.
Yes.
she's like, what are you trying to catch flies? What are you doing?
Oh my gosh, I love that.
That's a great movie.
That is an excellent movie.
Yeah, shout out Girls Trip.
Um,
Oh, I don't know why I went to this page, but
and you can go to whatever page you
I
want
will.
to.
I will.
So something else that Reeve says sort of later, but around the same sort of idea, is he just like calls Farron out and he's like, are you really going to read that?
Oh yeah, he does. He does. You're right.
And
he has no. He's like, I know you.
right? Like,
You're not
"Are
going to
you
read
do
that. You're not going to do it.
And she feels defensive about it at first. And she's like, Psh, maybe. And he's like, we all have our strengths.
Yeah.
This is not yours.
Yeah. Get out of the dang library.
So, something else that I think is really important to discuss is that when we've experienced trauma, we are more likely to do dangerous and risky things.
Just a tad.
I mean,
just
a little
tad.
bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a symptom of PTSD, right? Like when we've experienced trauma, we tend to have this like terrible things have happened. So who cares if something else happens, right?
I have such a good Star Trek reference that I will keep to myself.
Please don't.
Oh
Tell
my
us,
gosh.
Please.
Oh, thanks for noticing. Thanks for seeing. The nerd in me sees the nerd in you.
That's a new way of saying namaste. The nerd in me sees the nerd in you.
The nerd in you. No, but like it's just like they did a good job actually this episode. It's a Voyager episode, and there's a B'Elanna, she's a Klingon, and she's half Klingon, half human. And she had experienced something really traumatic, and then she had been taking the safety off on the they have the holodeck, and they get to go do whatever the heck they want. It's just such a fun plot device. But she was like skydiving with the safety off, and then was waiting to like do her parachute to the very last minute. And like she went, someone else was like, "Hey, I think there's something going on with her," and like went and did it with her, and they were like, "What is wrong with you? What is like
Yeah.
angry at her for doing something so dangerous that could get her killed. It's a simulation, but the safeties are off and you could die. But in the book, Faron is absolutely out there doing dangerous stuff.
She does so much dangerous stuff. Reeve doesn't know about most of it, right?
That's true.
So, like, his ability to do that with her to stop her from doing it, just he doesn't have it, right? Because he doesn't know because she's hiding it.
Yeah.
But the one thing that he does find is that she sneaks out, and we sort of talked about this already. But she's like, "Well, I'm just going to go down to the city.
Yeah. She's like, it's fine.
It's fine." And he's like, "No,
I don't trust you. I don't trust you.
but I'll go too."
Yeah.
Right. And she like does this whole like, "Well, like you don't have to go. I'm fine." And he's just like, "Yeah, but if you're going, I'm going."
Mhm.
Right.
If you're going, I'm going is such a good,
Right?
like friend thing to say. If you go, I go. If you're going, I'm going. I'll be there with you, whatever.
Right.
It doesn't matter if I like it or if I don't like it or whatever. I'm just there for you.
And the goal, right, is not that we then do terribly dangerous things
Mhm.
with our friends, right?
No.
Like that's certainly not what we're saying. We're not saying if you have a friend who's experienced trauma and wants
Go
to
do
go
the dangerous
to
things with them.
something terribly dangerous, do it.
But honestly, like if you go there and they're intending to do something dangerous, having somebody that cares about them there dampens some of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It feels less necessary to do something dangerous, or it puts in that like second step of someone's watching me. This person that I care about is watching me. But also, well, if I do it and they're with me, then they're going to be doing something
It's gonna be
dangerous.
yeah, exactly.
And that can be enough to deter somebody sometimes.
Yeah. That's such a good point. Do you have any times you want to point out?
Oh my gosh, I just talked about it. I don't have it pulled up. I didn't pull this one up in the book.
But no, it's like when she goes to the Sea View. Is that a place?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. When she goes down to the town.
Yes, when she goes down to town. Yeah, okay. We were
And
just
he
talking
says,
about
if you go, I go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
if you go, I go.
He's so good. He's so good.
He is good. And it's interesting too, because like, like she really has to do a lot of work to get to where she likes him.
Yeah.
And there's just so many points where he's like, he says the right thing.
Yeah.
Every time. Oh, Reeve.
He's just a good guy.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. The last point that I wanted to bring up with how to be a supportive friend to a traumatized person is that he does a really wonderful job of helping her confront her fears through modeling and encouraging rather than forcing.
Tell me more.
So specifically when they arrive and she's getting off the plane and they're met with that mob of people.
Oh, yeah.
She's terrified.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly she is having either intrusive memories or just clear overwhelm.
Yeah, like at least overwhelm, probably some PTSD feed, like intrusive thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Which makes total sense.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, maybe we just don't go. Right? She's like, well, I'll just turn around.
It's fine.
Maybe I'll go back. I'll just wait. I'll wait in the plane for a while. And Reeves says, no.
Yeah. No.
But he goes and he gets the Queen's Guard to escort her.
Yeah.
Which, I'm sorry, why wasn't the Queen's Guard escorting her to begin with?
Like, okay, let's use you as the child Empyrean and then not support you?
It's ridiculous.
It's dumb.
So
rude.
He tells them, basically, do your job.
Yeah.
And then they walk with her and she's able to do something that she was afraid to do. She's able to walk through this crowd of people feeling safe.
Yeah.
Because he created safety for her.
Oh. It's hard though because they're so mean.
They're so mean.
They're so mean.
Tell me more.
Just like dealing with someone who has experienced trauma when they're in their angry stage. It is so hard to not take it personally.
Yeah.
When you're trying to just sit there with them in their pain too. And they're just like, I don't want you here.
Yeah.
I'm going to be here.
I mean,
and I'm sure you deal with that as a therapist. Like,
I do. I was going to get a little personal for a second.
Shut up. Tell me. Tell me more.
I mean, so I've been through multiple situations, right? My tendency is not to get angry, but to withdraw, right?
Okay, that tracks for you.
It definitely
Yeah,
tracks for me,
yeah.
right? To withdraw, become depressed, and then to just say like, no, no, everything's fine,
Oh, me too.
right? Everything's fine.
Everything's
Everything's fine.
fine. Like, ooh.
Everything is not fine. Nothing is
Everything is
fine.
awesome. You know, like Lego song.
If I say everything's fine, nothing is
Nothing
fine.
is fine. Nothing's fine. No.
Because usually I'll tell you what's going on. So
Yeah.
if my answer is fine, it's usually the opposite.
Do you, when you're telling people everything is fine, do you have the kind of like meta thinking, like, oh shit, they're gonna know?
A little bit. I've grown a lot, thankfully.
We've been
in
working
my
on
years.
ourselves.
Working on myself. But I remember when I was in my like early to mid 20s, I would get like this and I would just push my husband away. I'm like, no, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm
And
fine.
what I
Everything's fine.
wanted was him to say, you're not fine.
Yeah.
And to stay there. It
Yeah.
was like, I don't know how many times I had to say, I'm fine before I would be willing to just talk.
Talk. Yeah.
But I needed to know that someone was going to stick with me.
Yeah.
And I think
Ooh.
that's what Reeve does.
That he does.
He's saying like, you're pushing me away. You're being rude. You're doing all these things, but I'm just going to keep being here for you. And I think that's what people need is like, we need to push people away and know that they're going to stick with us anyway.
Yeah. That is, it's so funny that you mentioned that. I do the exact same thing. And my partner, like, will sit there and just be like, I'm like, he'll looks very scared because my face is angry. But he just sits there and he's just like, you're obviously not fine. And I go, I'm fine. And my tongue is very sharp when I'm angry.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually a very jovial person. And if I'm actually like overwhelmed and angry, like I'm fine. And sitting there with me and just staring.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm here for you being fine.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to stay here while you're fine until you're ready to admit that you are absolutely not fine.
You're absolutely not fine. Yeah. Yeah. That's honestly one of the best things you can do for anybody is just sitting there with them.
Yeah. Quietly.
Quietly, not saying anything, no pressure.
The whole like, I know you're not fine. Also not.
Oh
all
my
that
God.
helpful.
It's so like patronizing.
Yeah.
Like mean. Go away.
Like that doesn't make me want to talk to you.
Like, fuck you. This is an explicit podcast.
But yeah, like Reeve does a great job of this. I think Camilla does a really wonderful job of showing us someone who can be a supportive person.
And you know what's so interesting? Like, so it is like within the what's it called? The universe, her universe. We understand like, I think it's written somewhere like that it's like an analogy to like the colonization of Jamaica.
Jamaica,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because she's a Jamaican author. And it is hard to accept support from someone who looks like your abuser.
Absolutely. Like Reeve looks like his father, who is her absolute enemy, who came to her island and killed her people and tried to kill her.
Yeah. And then came around again and was like, everything's fine. We're friends now.
You're not friends. You're a liar.
And Reeve understood that too. Like Reeve was like, my dad's a liar, basically. Did he say that ever? Or did he ever confront? I don't remember if he did.
I don't know if he said it specifically, but I do know that one of the moments where he chooses radical honesty is when Faron is being sneaky.
Yeah.
And follows him in his ad and is like, oh, I'm gonna catch Reeve in the act.
He does do radical honesty. You're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, she follows him. She's like, I'm gonna catch him being
He's
chummy
obviously
with
a
his dad.
traitor. Yeah.
And then she sees his dad being absolutely horrific to him.
Yeah.
And afterwards she's like, well, what did your dad say to you? Right?
Yeah.
Because it was in a different language.
I'll tell you exactly what he said.
Right? Like he could have and probably should have for most people been like, how do you know that my dad said anything to me?
Yeah.
Were you
It's
sneaking
none of
and
your business.
following
You
me?
get defensive immediately.
Yeah, but he wasn't. He was just like, this is what my dad said. He said that my mom wants to forgive me, but he thinks I should die.
Yeah. Awful, by
It's
the way.
horrible.
And that's one of the things, like, Reeve is not the main character, but he's such a good support character. He's a little scaffold.
He is. He's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
And he's a good reminder for us, just like Signy, that
Signy Soto.
Signy Soto.
She gets a whole name.
Signy Soto.
Signy Soto.
That just because one person is horrible, or even because your whole family is horrible, or even because your whole nation is doing horrible things, that doesn't make you a horrible person.
Yeah.
Right? And you can still choose to be your own person despite what your family is doing, despite what your nation is doing.
Well, that's a good message.
It's not a bad message.
That's a good message. We are not a monolith. We are not only we're not only this one thing.
Yeah.
We are, what's it called? Like a constellation of whatever,
Yeah, we're all our own people. And just because you have a belief doesn't mean that I have to have that belief. And certainly just because my parents act a certain way doesn't mean I have to act that way. And because my country acts a certain way doesn't mean that I act that way.
Yeah. It all speaks to the resilience in Reeve as someone who grew up with, I imagine that his upbringing, he was only 13 when he
told on his parents,
when he defected. When he defected, that's the word.
Yeah.
He's only 13. And like, can you imagine being a 13-year-old and just being like, what they're doing is wrong. I'm going to go save everybody.
Yeah. I'm going to choose these people that I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I realize what my family is doing is wrong and harmful.
And like the resilience of him as a person, that he's willing to do that, and also willing to be the kind of the hated person.
Yeah.
The traitor.
The traitor.
I could have said this was the traitor, but this is the ally.
He's not a traitor.
But he's an ally. Yeah.
Right? Okay, so last thing before we end, can we just take a moment to bask in the cuteness of their kiss?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, this was such a YA book. You brought this up before.
I know. It's such a YA
It's
book.
very YA in that, like, the epitome of romance in the book was this passionate kiss that left their cheeks rosy.
I loved it.
And their lips plump.
It just makes me giggle. Oh, that one turned off. But that's okay. But it just makes me giggle. Yeah. Like, it's adorable. Like, it's literally adorable.
It's so sweet and so just beautiful.
Just so beautiful. Like, it's just so, like, just light touch.
Yeah.
A little light touch here, a little touch there.
It was so, so sweet.
I loved it.
It was so,
I'm a dork. I'm over there going,
it's like, oh, she knows. She finally figured it out.
I know, right? She finally figured it out.
Finally figured out that you're obviously in love with him.
Oh my goodness. I know. Because I was at the beginning of the book when I first started it, I was like, oh, are him and Elara? And I was like, nope.
No.
Nope.
That's not happening.
Not so much. Oh, that was a good one.
It was good.
Yeah.
Is that a good place?
It's a good place to end. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for coming. And if you made it all the way to the very end, hooray.
Yay. Thank you.
We have more fun stuff on our Patreon. Follow us on Instagram and all the other social media places. I've had a drink. I've lost the plot. But please join us and come back. And I forgot what else I say. Your turn.
My turn. Join us next month as we read They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Spoiler alert, they both die at the end. It's a very aptly named book. It's sad. but it's going to be so beautiful. And I think, honestly, we'll talk about this more, but it's my favorite book that we've read so far in book
Really?
club. Yeah, it's
Okay.
absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited to discuss it with
I
you
haven't
all.
finished it yet.
You will before
I'll finish it. Don't
before
worry.
next time. You will. But yeah, so join us, and we have one more week of discussing So Let Them Burn. So go ahead, grab your book for next month, and start reading it. Be here with us, like, subscribe, tell all your friends, and come to our Patreon. Check out our therapy resources and all the fun stuff that we're doing. All right. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks for coming.